Chapter 52. Your mother? Etta raised her voice. What was Angie doing with all these pictures of my son? Dominique could sense Etta getting hostile and knew she needed to calmly say what came next. Mrs. Hayes, my mother and my father got those pictures, the newspaper clippings, and all the other items from your husband, Reverend Henry Hayes. Etta and Lucian both looked dazed. Cecilia spoke up. Look, Miss Pierce, you need to explain what's going on here. We need details. And explain she did. Mrs. Hayes, I will tell you the story my mother and father told me the year I graduated from law school. She had the full attention of Etta, Lucian, Cecilia, Pastor McCurdy, and Sharmelle. When you didn't return to school, my mother tried to find out what happened to you. She said you didn't have many friends, so nobody knew why you didn't come back. My father came back to campus looking for you after he wasn't able to enlist in the Army. They both were trying to find you, working together. They kept reaching dead ends. The administrative offices were no help. I think that's when they, after spending so much time together, developed feelings for each other and got together. They had given up on finding you until Mom's senior year. She was working in some administrator's office and found a letter from an Etta Bell Hayes, asking for a form to show that she had attended a year of college there. She was shocked, of course, so she copied the address in Chicago. Back in the day, Mom could have been in your line of work, Sharmelle, Dominique said with a smile, and it was the first time Sharmelle sensed any warmth at all coming from her. And Mrs. Hayes, if you recall, Mom was from Gary, Indiana, so when she returned home after graduation, she and my father went to Chicago in search of you. Marcus came to Chicago looking for me? Etta wanted to make sure she'd heard her correctly. Yes, ma'am, they both did. Dominique made a point of emphasizing both. They went to the address on the envelope and found your husband, Mr. Hayes, out in the yard working on his lawnmower. They told him their names, and he, of course, knew exactly who they were. Your son's biological father and your old roommate. Sharmelle kept a close eye on Etta, afraid she might pass out again or have another heart issue. She didn't either, but encouraged Dominique to continue with the story. They told him about all their efforts to track you down, Mrs. Hayes. They arranged to meet at some restaurant close to your home later that evening. You were supposed to be there, but when they got there, Mr. Hayes came alone with surprising news and a proposal. He told them that Etta had given birth to a baby and that he was not the biological father, but that my father was. Daddy says he didn't know what to do, what to think. He was in complete shock, but of course wanted to see you, Mrs. Hayes, and your son, his son, and wanted to know all about him. I'm sure you can understand that. But Lucian, your father, had a proposal for my parents. He explained that the last few years since leaving school and giving birth to you had been very difficult. Mrs. Hayes, this was apparently during the time when your father and your favorite aunt passed away within a few months of each other. He also told them that he had been called by God into the ministry and things were finally going smoothly for you, for both of you. So as Mom described it, he begged them not to tell you, to just let things stay the way they were. And in exchange, he promised to keep my father informed about how you were doing, Lucian. Sharmelle made note of the fact that Dominique referred to Marcus as my father and not our father. And that's how you got the scrapbook? Sharmelle asked, not being able to resist at least one of her many questions. Yes, throughout the years, Reverend Hayes sent all of this, and Mom made a scrapbook for Dad. Growing up, Kim, that's my sister, and I never knew anything about the scrapbook. Mom did a good job of keeping it hidden, but for some reason, she and Dad finally told us about his son, his biological son, after I graduated law school, and that's when they showed us this scrapbook. They all sat there, taking a moment to absorb what felt like a gut punch to their collective stomach. So I hope you all understand my father's reaction and mine when you reached out, Mrs. Hayes. It just caused a lot of confusion and stirred up memories, especially since Mom has dementia now, and I hope you understand why I may have seemed a little rude, Sharmelle chimed in, which made Dominique smile for the second time. Yes, rude, and I apologize. Etta realized the two men she had loved so fiercely were never truly truthful with her. Marcus never revealed that he found her and knew they had a son. And Henry held so many secrets. He never told her that Marcus came looking for her, or that he was in contact with him, or that Lucian has known for years that Henry was not his biological father. They'd all almost forgotten that Pastor McCurdy was in the room until he spoke up. "This has been a lot for all of you. Etta, Lucian, what do you need? How can we help you?" Etta spoke first. "I guess I just need time to sort this all out. Nothing is really what it seemed. Henry and I talked about everything, or so I thought, and now I've learned he kept something so important from me, and I'll never be able to ask him why. Was he afraid I would leave him for Marcus? I wouldn't have. Henry was the one for me, the one I should have married, and I did. I'm sorry if that hurts you to hear that, Dominique." "I understand," is all Dominique could say. Then Dominique turned to Lucian, her brother. "And how about you, Lucian?" "To be honest, Cecilia and I have a son and daughter, so I can't imagine having a child out there and not being in that child's life. I know he kept up with me from the outside, but what kind of man would agree to that arrangement? I know I wouldn't." "Well, you can ask him yourself," Dominique said. "He's at our hotel right now."